Have you ever heard someone say they've been making thousands of dollars online doing stuff like drop shipping or maybe investing in stocks? What if I told you there were people out there making just as much as them doing writing? Yes, you heard me correctly. I'm talking about writing online. Now, I don't blame you for being surprised by any means, because how exactly can one make money just by writing online? You'd have to be extremely talented at it and put months of effort into it. But no, you don't actually need to be the best at it or even close to the best. You just need to show up every day and know where to start, which is why I'll be sharing with you this writing side hustle that you can start today. And no, you don't need a degree or years of experience to start. You just need full dedication and some time on your hands. Before we start, I just also want to say that this side hustle can be done with just your phone and an internet connection. So don't stress yourself over needing fancy equipment. Okay, let's go through this writing side hustle that will put money in your pocket and make your life easier. Many people are not familiar with this method, which is writing product reviews. If you've ever bought something online, you'll know just how important product reviews are. Without product reviews, it can be hard for people to know which items are worth their money. A good review helps point consumers to products they'll love and keep them away from those they won't. Now, you might ask yourself, why would I want to write a product review? Well, like I said earlier in this video, this side hustle idea doesn't require a fancy degree or years of experience to begin. Writing product reviews is as simple as it sounds, and I'm going to give you the insights on just exactly how to start and what you have to do. The first thing to keep in mind is that product reviews give readers a clear sense of what the product is, how it performs, and whether it provides good value. So when writing your reviews, you should always go back to these main points. Now, let's go through the key elements to writing an informative, honest review. First of all, you will need the product information. Basic stuff like the product name, price, manufacturer, stuff like that can be included. Look to give context about the product category. Is it a new product? Does it have any key features? Or is it an already existing product? This is the type of information that separates a good review to a great one. And a great review will always have an engaging intro. Have an attention-grabbing line to start with. Something bold, provocative, or intriguing to hook people in. Now, the most important part about a review is the honesty. When people look through reviews, they look for authentic and honest critiques who can share their experience with the product. A lot of people think that if they just write a bunch of random stuff, it'll work. But no, that isn't the case. You need to be honest and informative with your reviews. Just be honest with yourself. Did the product perform as expected? Was it hard to set up? What were your first impressions of the product? Providing this information is already half of your job done. That's how simple it is. You just need to be honest and authentic. When writing your review, you can sometimes compare it to competing products in order to give the reader some understanding of where its strengths and weaknesses lie. And finally, to end a great review, give a bottom line assessment. This is the part of the review where you let the reader know whether or not the product is worth buying, basically summarizing your reasoning. Follow this up with a strong conclusion like a thought-provoking line, or maybe your strong opinion on the product, and boom, you've got your review. So that's basically how you write a review in the format you should consider. You see how simple it is. Trust me guys, this side hustle is a one you should consider. Now let's actually go through the ways to use this information we've just gained to start making money. Okay, so firstly, we need to find a website to write the reviews. Now there's a lot out there, so it can be a bit confusing, but I'll give y'all the rundown on some of the best ones to use. The thing I love about these sites is that most of them are low entry, meaning they don't require years of experience and can be done in your spare time. The first thing you want to do is set up a professional profile. You can use LinkedIn or Contently. This is where you will showcase your work once you've gone further into writing reviews. The next step is optional, but I'd advise you to do it as it will make writing your reviews a lot easier, which is identifying your niche or area of expertise. The reason I say this is optional is because you can write reviews on basically anything, but if you want your reviews to be authentic and to stand out, then I suggest you look into the stuff you already have knowledge on. Maybe if you're into sports, you could review sporting equipment. Now it's time to sign up to a trusted review platform. Like I said earlier, there's so many review platforms to choose from, so which one would be best for you to go with? For beginners, I suggest you go with a platform that is beginner-friendly like Trustpilot, which will allow you to build up your credibility. If not Trustpilot, then you can use Survey Junkie, which is also popular when considering where to write reviews. Sometimes when writing reviews, you'll be required to meet certain requirements. Some companies want bullet points, while others may want storytelling. So pay close attention to that because meeting guidelines improves your approval rates. Now that you know what to do and where to begin, let's go through some tips to make you stand out and be unique. Because remember, the better your reviews, the more money you can make. So here's some tips to help you out. Firstly, you need to understand your purpose and audience. Take into consideration the people who may be reading your review and tailor your language accordingly. Now, when I say purpose of the review, I'm basically saying that you have to clearly state what you're reviewing. Is it a book? A pair of shoes? Maybe a smartphone? You just gotta be specific. You then want to focus on providing context on the product. This is pretty simple. You just have to give a general overview of what you're reviewing. The next tip is to be specific and as detailed as possible. Remember when I said earlier that companies love it when you're honest? Well, the same applies for being specific. Companies love it when reviews mention specific details. For example, instead of just saying, "These shoes are good," rather say, "These shoes were extremely comfortable and great for everyday use." You notice how much more descriptive that was? Using descriptive language and describing your experience and details about the product will really make you stand out. Highlight the pros and cons. It's very important that you review your products without any bias, ensuring that you remain neutral. This will allow you to not only acknowledge what you liked about the product, but also offer constructive criticism. And finally, make sure your format is engaging. Simply add subheadings and attention-grabbing introductions to draw readers in. If you can follow these simple tips, then you can find yourself making money as soon as today. Okay, so here's the thing. Yes, this side hustle has the potential to pay you for all your reviews, but it doesn't have to end there. You see, you could easily make this a stable income. I already told you how there are so many different sites you can sign up to write reviews, as well as writing reviews for local companies or even online businesses. If you start this side hustle and gain some experience for it over time, you can build up a pretty impressive portfolio which you can use to your advantage. I'm not saying you have to be the best at it, you just have to be consistent, and the more you do it, the easier it'll become. Now you can sign up to multiple review platforms, using your experience to earn income across multiple platforms. That's what you want to be aiming for, consistency across multiple platforms to maximize your profit. Well, I really hope you found this video to be helpful. Of course, it would really mean a lot if you dropped a like and subscribe to the channel. We're on a journey to 1,000 subscribers. If there's any side hustle or business idea you want to look into, then make sure you leave a comment and who knows, it might be in the next video. With that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next video.